Um, 20, I'm sorry. Today is the 23rd. It's been like that for a few months with me. I'm just getting older, I think. I tried to blame it on medical and they never can find anything medical. So I wanted to get in touch with you guys and just update you. As far as medical issues, I'm getting a little bit better. They put me on another medication for headaches. I was going back into almost clusters of migraines. And I think that's because they took me off the beta blocker, which is Inderal, that my primary that retired put me on for headaches. And my body is not doing well without it. I even have a slight headache now. I got up at 3:30 this morning and took Tylenol extra strength, and it kept it from going into a pounding headache. But anyway, it is what it is. So I want to talk to you about a few things that I have been reflecting on about myself and my trans journey. And I don't know if any of you have experienced this, thought of this, or think this way. But in case you do, you're not alone. Uh, my videos are not here to cause upset or conflict in any way. They're just an experience that I share. And sometimes I will share my philosophy or my theory or, what my view on something. Um, and that's what I'm going to talk about because some of my views have changed over the past 12 years. I was asked, probably about 4 years into my transition to do a questionnaire for a hospital. And one of the questions was, do you think trans people should have private rooms or should they be put in with another patient? And my view at the time was, if you feel like you're a woman, then you're a woman. And if you feel like you're a man, then you're a man. And I don't remember, honestly, if I took into consideration the beginning of transition and how far along they are in transition. I think I was just trying to be as honest and transparent as possible. And once I started transitioning medically, well, actually before medically, once I went to the counselor and we discussed this and I found out it was gender identity and I was like, okay, now I've got an answer. Now I can be who I am. And we waited 30 days for me to, or 3 months actually, I think we had to wait for me to start testosterone. But in that 30 days, I knew I didn't pass as male, but in my mind, I was full male from that time on. I didn't try to pretend anything, I didn't try to act like something I wasn't, and that was a constant battle with me. So I think the music's too loud. Let me go turn it down just a little. Sorry about that. I got some Bose speakers, and no matter how low it is, sometimes they come through pretty good. So anyway, um, but now that I reflect on that questionnaire and my attitude towards it, I have to. If I was given that again, I'd have to say it all depends on timing of transition, how long they've been in it, how comfortable they feel in their own skin, and I'm thinking, FTMs that are in transition but still don't feel comfortable, and then to be in a room with another male, and vice versa. Women who transition late that don't look all female and struggle with that, I think a female patient would feel uncomfortable. And so I didn't take all that into consideration, and I've grown in understanding about the differences in all of us trans people, the different walks, the different timings, the different ages that we all are. It all takes part in where we are at. how society views us. Right now, I don't think anybody would, they would be shocked around me if they found out I was a trans man. Half of them probably don't even know what it means, to be honest with you. So that's an example of what's changed in me. Uh, I can be black and white sometimes, and I have to get a hold of myself when I start being black and white because that is just a behavior I picked up from my family, and I'm still trying to break those family traditions, those family cycles. I had still do have very opinionated family members, and they don't see themselves as being wrong in their opinions. And I look at them and see no growth as a human being. I see them, they don't have a vision of where they want to be or what they want to do or whatever. And it saddens me actually that they're even in my siblings, and it just saddens me to see where they are, you know. And I'm not talking about they have to go venture the world or anything, but I'm talking about just growing as an individual. To understand that you don't know everything is a big growth in itself, especially when you have been raised in closed minded, non visional, non inspirational uh, atmospheres from your family members. And I uh, I have a bird that always I have to say this because I'm looking at him in the window. I have a bird that always comes and visits me when I'm up, and he's always in the windows when I'm wherever I am. I see him in the windows, and a black crow just went after him, and he looks like a red cardinal, but he's black, and he's called a phalobe or something like that. I don't remember. Tony knows all that stuff. Anyway, excuse me for that interruption. So it really saddens me that uh, I'm thankful that I am so different from my family. You would not even believe they're my family. Number one, I don't look like my siblings. So it would be hard to really pick them out and say, oh, that's Ethan's family, you know? Um, my youngest sister and I are totally opposite. And my brother and I, the only thing we have in common is our nose. And that's my mom's nose. And he looks just like my mom. And anyway, so that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, how my ideology has changed, how I'm still changing. And I think that's just because I'm still growing as an individual. It doesn't matter how old you are, there's always room to grow. And I wrote some notes here so I can kind of keep on track and not go off on the sides. Oh yeah, so I want to talk about mental health. And I've been diagnosed with PTSD due to the injury at my work, and I never really got really bad into a depression compared to those I hear from and watch on TV and stuff about documentaries. But I was withdrawing, and part of that was my gender identity. And I still find myself, I'm so much better as far as smiling, and when I'm out in the public, I'm okay as far as who I am, what I am. Um, my mental health has to do with being out in the public. I don't. I really don't like to go socialize. I don't like to go in the public that much. That's why I'm so thankful we got these 2.5 acres. It keeps me busy. It keeps my mind busy. Sometimes it costs us a bit because I think about projects that are costly, but we get it done, and it's an admiration for me to look over this property and see how far we've come with it. And I am going to get that video on one of my videos about when we first looked at it compared to what it is now. Um, it's going to even change. I have one, and then I have after a couple years, and then it's even going to change on the next one I do because the arena is being built, and I have to kind of wait on my brother-in-law when he feels like doing it, because he's my welder and it's all in pipe. Uh, yeah, so my mental health, as far as transitioning, has solidified me as a person. It's I am so just so happy when I look in the mirror and I feel so good. There are times where I feel female. I don't know if any of you feel that way who are male to female or female to male, but there's, and I don't know if that's hormonal. I don't know if uh, I have higher estrogen because I have fat on my body. I don't have anything making estrogen in me, but fat does cause estrogen growth. So remember that those who are overweight and want to know why they cry easy or not. I mean, let me rephrase that. You seem to cry when you don't want to cry. There are a lot of sentimental people, and I'm one of those. I'll cry when it's happy, but there are times where I just feel like I'll have a feeling like I used to be, who I used to be, and it only is seconds, and then I have to shake it off and go, wow, why, what was that for? I mean, I've been male for 12 years, and why is that happening? And that's been happening off and on this last year. Everything's been happening this last year for me, the 2023, and it's kind of rolled a little into 2024, but I'm not half as bad as I used to be. I don't even know if I've had those feelings of female in this year. It's These are reflections of what I've thought about, what I've gone through, and it's mainly the last year. But I have had that. So, and the next thing is sexuality. So, in the beginning, even as before I transitioned, I used to justify uh, my sexuality by saying it's not a choice, and it's not. But that's how I used to justify it, that it's not a choice. And then I used to justify bisexuality as, oh, they're just in love with the person, which is true. But now I don't justify anything, even though I will admit it is a little bit more. Um, Not even less stressful. I don't even know the word for it, but it's a little bit more comforting to know I don't have to worry about sexuality. Uh, it's assumed by appearance and relationship that I am married. So, um, but I will say this: I didn't understand this with other guys who transition, that they were determined that they were heterosexual in the beginning of their transitioning, and then they found that they like guys too. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but I had a hard time because, like I said, there are some things I'm real traditional in. I'm black and white. And so I don't get it when you break that black and white because I was raised so much in that there's no shades of gray, there's no straddling the fence, there's none of that. And I've come a long way, people. You can't believe, maybe even if you've been with me since the beginning, you've seen me change through the years. But I always knew there was a different answer for everything that they gave me an answer for or that was out there for me. And so I always believed in the gray, and I've always believed that straddling the fence had nothing to do with it. And so uh, I've come to terms with sexuality that everybody's just free to flow how they want, as long as they're not forcing themselves on anybody, as long as it's not an underage child. If you're 40 and you've got an 18-year-old, that 18-year-old, that's up to her. But if you force yourself on a 16-year-old, I hope your ass gets caught and you're put in jail. That's just the way I look at it. I don't care who you are. I don't care if it was Biden. If he sexually abused somebody, he needs to have his oats soaked and put away. So, um, anyway, that's the sexuality part. So here's the biggest announcement: is tomorrow I am finally going for a erection device reevaluation. So I've kind of pondered if I want another one or if I don't. And then I thought there was thoughts of, well, I know I want another one just for the peace of mind. And I've noticed things that I don't like without it. For instance, I only have one testicle. I hate that because the one side is the one that split open on me two different times. I don't know if she'll allow me to have another one. I don't know. I don't know if she'll think the body's okay or we can give it a try and see what happens. I don't know. It does cost Kaiser a lot of money to do this. I've cost them my share of expenses, but we also paid pretty good premiums for them. So they'll get it in the end. Um, but yeah, that's how I'm going into this appointment. Letting her know that I feel better with it. Wanting her to know if we can go through the other side and through the phallus on the other side, uh, and switch that testicle over to the other side that was scarred a lot, and put the pump on the good side and see what she says. I've got a lot of scars down there, and the only reason why I don't look at them all is because I have some fat. I've got the, what was it called? Oh shoot! There was a saying on TV that was perfect, like duck over the belt, or something like that. I don't know, but I got a little bit of pooch over the belt there, so I don't see it. But that's my take on some things, and I always forget to talk about these things. Other than that, life is going good. My voice, that's something I want to talk about. Okay, so my voice, about probably 2 months now ago, as I talk, it gets higher and it gets kind of raspy. And I asked Tony, did she notice that? And she didn't notice it at first. And then she started noticing it as the day progressed that, yeah, you do. Your pitch is a little bit higher than it normally is. And I started freaking out about testosterone. Are my levels good? Is everything going good? I started evaluating myself. And I don't know what it is. I can feel it when my voice sounds like a girl, but not literally like a girl, but a girl to me and how I'm used to talking. And I have to really bring myself back and not, you know, project my voice more, because that's what makes it do it too. So I try to relax and talk, but I have a sound like I have a cold, and I have not been sick. And my mom even said when this all started, "Are you getting sick?" And I said, "No, it's just my voice. I don't know why it's doing this, but this is what it's doing." And so, yeah, I wanted to share that too. But anyway, guys, everything's going good. I am going to. It's been raining here and it's gloomy, and it's flooded everybody's property around me. We've got lakes all over the place. And so I'm going to hang out here and tear down some door frames. Well, not frames, but I guess they are called frames around the door, because the doors didn't hang right. And I've spoke about this before. So I'm going to do inside long time needed uh, projects, get them all finished, and get the inside of this house once and for all done. So you guys have a good day. Take it one day at a time, and always make your journey as simple as possible. We'll talk to you later.